Well, here we are back in the shop once again. Got the rack off the ZRX once again. This is probably the 17th time it's been off of there. Well, not that much, but it's been on and off there quite a few times. Now it's time to actually set it to some specifications. And I need to set the float levels. And I'm going to jump up a couple sizes on the main jets because those don't seem to be functioning properly. And I'm going to go through it once again and just basically spray everything down with the, with the Super Tech carb cleaner, not sponsored. All right, so I'm going to get these. This is the idle adjustment here. I'm going to just leave that hanging on there, I think, because it's kind of a pain to get it put back in down in where it goes in between these. And there's a spring on there and a couple of washers, and all kinds of fun things can happen when that doesn't go according to plan. All right, all the float bowls are open now, and according to Manuel, the manual I have, which I have right in front of me here, the distance of the float bowl from the edge of the top of the float bowl, which is this, to the float is supposed to be 18.5 millimeters. So I've got my caliper set up for 18.5. So there's 10, 15, 16, 17, 18.5 according to the dial. So I set this down on here, and I see that this one here is absolutely perfect. That one is, I have a tolerance of plus or minus 1 millimeter, and this one is just touching the float. So that one, that one is perfect. That's the number 1 cylinder, I believe. So that one is set up perfectly. This one here feels good. Feels like this one, but I think it might be a little bit. Yep, that one's a little high. So we're gonna bend that tang down just a touch to give it just a little bit more upward mobility. I was gonna say. I don't know, kind of words. I'm actually kind of working on this backwards. I usually work on it from the other side, but today I'm working on it from this side. Why? I don't know. Get a slight bend on that. And with it, well, words, with it resting on the needle, and I don't know, what do you guys think? I have a tolerance of 1 millimeter plus or minus. This side here is very, very close. I am going to give that just a touch more, just a little bit more. I want that to just touch the caliper. There it is. There we go, 18.5 millimeters, just where it needs to be. Okay, so I'm going to get to the rest of them. This one here, that one there is almost right. That's about a 0.5 millimeter off. And that one's, well, that one's way off. That one's off at least 1.5 millimeters. So let me get these all set. We'll get the float heights all set the way they need to be. And then we'll change out the main jets to the, I think I'm going to go 105 on those. And I'm going to pull the pilots out and clean all that, clean all these little orifices out once again, and get in there with some spray, clean things up, put them back together, and who knows? Houston, we may have a problem here. Okay, as you can see, I've got the carbs tore apart again in front of me here. I actually, at one point, resorted to putting the old floats back in there, thinking there may have been something wrong with the new floats. So that was to no avail. Obviously, when you guys weren't watching, I took this out and tried to run the bike on it. Did not work. I was getting random leaks out of, well, one time this carb would leak, another time this one would, another time this would. No matter what I tried, I was always getting something, not a leak, they were overflowing as they're going on. The floats weren't shutting off the fuel. And so I kind of gave up on it last night, and now it's back to the next afternoon. I'm back in the shop again looking things over. And I dug out one of the old needle valves from the original ones that were in there. And I have 3 of the 4. One got lost. It's, well, it's becoming a unfindable condition. I have no idea where it went flying. And the other 2 are non-functional. They're pooched. So the original one out of there, I checked it out. Now, why I didn't notice this before, I don't know. you look at the new one compared to the old one. I'll put the old one there and put the new one here. Put it in the same somewhat orientation. Now, can you guys see a difference between those two? The camera may not be picking that up, but there's a definite difference between the two of these, in that this one here, the older one, is actually larger than this one. Which means, if you look at the illustration here, you can see there's a definite difference. Now, that's obvious in that picture. Yeah, why didn't I notice that? And look at the micrometer measurement on there is, yeah, those were never going to work properly, and here's why. Back to the picture here. Let's focus in on this second carburetor right here. And there's the needle valve going into the needle seat. Okay, fine. I put it all together, and you know, the new needles, well, they're for the ZRX1100, for the CVK carbs. Except it's not. That's not supposed to be like that. So what would happen is it would open up, let the fuel in, and due to it rattling around in there, it may close, it may not close. If it didn't close, guess what? That float bowl would overflow because the fuel would not shut off. Okay, so that should have become obvious to me, the words. The first time I put it together, weeks ago, before we even did the cold start on it, I should have noticed that, but I didn't. I was all excited, you know, it's all, the new kit's here, it's a Kawasaki kit, it's made for the CVKs. No, those didn't work. So I dug up the old one, I put that one in there. Now look at how that fits in there compared to what the new one did. It doesn't rattle around in there. When that one pushes shut, it pushes shut tight. When it opens, it opens. When it closes, it closes. So, that being the case, I mean, you can even look, even the neoprene on the ends of these is not the same size. So what was happening is that it wasn't sealing up, and gas was getting in around it, overflowing the float bowls, and in the meantime flooding out the engine. So and as you can see, I did resort to even putting the old floats back in there, and boy, do these still smell of varnish. Man, oh man, they do smell bad. So I'm going to end up having to order a new kit with the right size needles in it. So unfortunately, this project is going to be on hold for a little while longer.